Hey you guys, newness, switching up my routine. What's going on? If anything, that's probably what this tape should be called. It's like basically switching up the routine that you get used to, and also just not punishing yourself for not being able to do everything all the time, right? So products. What's a little bit annoying about these videos is my last apartment had a great light coming in the front. This apartment doesn't really, but if you leave, it's wonderful. The only thing is, like, as soon as you step outside or get to the front of my apartment, the light gets great. But I don't have a countertop in the front of my apartment, so it's very difficult to hold like 150 products, right? Or to carry them where I could talk to you about all of them. Even here, what's a little bit tight is that you can't really see the scope of how many products are on the table. So even this morning, like when I finished everything, I was like, you know what? I want to switch stuff up, but how can you even, it's difficult to sometimes see the full scope of what I'm striving to express. So instead of being annoyed with all of that, let me be grateful and having the opportunity and just, switching up my schedule. A lot of times, what I've noticed is that, at least for myself, I've had to really get into a schedule of doing things just so that I can complete tasks for the day and I don't get distracted with anything that might take my attention away from making the products that people order. Plus, I'm kind of sticky with 1 to 3 day shipments. So right now, for instance, today is the 4th and I'm mailing stuff out from the 1st today. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4 days, right? I was able to do 150 products, a little bit more than that, and I'm very grateful, but it's starting to make me feel as though I'm not connecting with you guys as much. I'm so into getting them all done, putting them all in envelopes before 4 o'clock so that I meet the pickup guy downstairs, right? So in doing this for about 3 years consecutively, you want to make sure that you don't fall off, you want to make sure that you stay on point. But for myself, I'm like, I want to be able to answer the 400, I'm going to take a screenshot, the 465 messages I have on my phone right now. I literally have 465 voicemails. And I brought them down from 515 this weekend to 465. Now, some people might be like, damn, she's messing up. I've learned to forgive myself and saying, look, I can't get to everything right away. And one thing that I remember an elder said to me a while ago is that, this is like 15, 20 years ago, is that some people have the ability to make people really feel as though there's no one else in the room when they're with them. And I'm one of those people, unfortunately. It's a great thing, first of all. But the sidebar to it is that it can be a little inconsistent or make people feel as though when I have connected with them, after that first connection, like either I drop some major ball or I'm not present anymore, when that's not the case at all. What it is for myself, kind of like, if I were to share a little bit about who I am and how I even got into doing what I do, I went to school for film, for theater and film. I had a mom that was a journalist who worked for the Wall Street Journal. She passed away my sophomore year of college, and right around that time in my life, it really, uprooted a lot. But it taught me to be very resilient and to not necessarily rely on other people to take care of me or to rescue. I figured if my own family isn't looking out for me, and that can sound really sad, and no, it's to say that really is a lesson that I needed to learn. If my own uncles and aunts weren't gonna call me or didn't call or didn't show love, like it just taught me to not expect love and attention from the people that I thought that it should come from the most. So the sidebar to that is I got very used to doing things on my own. And I think after the loss of my mom and how tragic, not only was her passing, but I have one sister. We got kicked out of our home on the night of her funeral. What that did for us is it really, for me, it put a energy behind me that was just extremely not looking back. But what it also did was it didn't allow me to really take ownership for the things that I do accomplish well, or to kind of highlight the things that I do. So years later, I've noticed, it's something that I'm not only aware of, but I sometimes have to slow down and say, think of the things that I've accomplished or the things that I'm grateful for, or else you're going to always be looking for the next goal or the next thing to accomplish. And I think those of us that have experienced certain type of loss and trauma just know how delicate it is in terms of like rent and survival. You don't ever want to become homeless or become needy or become that person that people kind of shy away from because this, that, and the third happened to them. So for me, I think that I wanted to always empower myself, which is kind of why I figured out ways to teach yoga and heal myself. And, after having knee surgery and foot surgery and all these little things that happened to me, I wanted to think of ways to not be hospitalized after that, not have more joint pain, or maybe how to prevent certain injuries and things that had taken place in my life from happening. So I kind of approach my life like a yoga studio, in the sense that, in yoga, there was always a lot of like little distractions that could have thrown me off, either from teaching or from just paying attention to the 90-minute, meditation. And I talk about yoga because, we love working out, and I totally love people that are like, yo, I hate yoga. And I like those people because I understand why. Slowing yourself down, or like taking time to really just listen to your breath or feel where you're really tight, it can be a little annoying, and it can be easier to just run a couple miles or just, work on a pre-core machine or any type of elliptical machine, because, it still does a job, but it doesn't have you connect to your sweat and connect to your joint pain. And like, I tell my son all the time, yoga is an internal workout, and like going to the gym is a little bit more external. Both needed. But for myself, I think after certain, loss, I wanted to work on my emotional body and make sure that I wasn't like doing things to repeat or to attract certain energy. That sounds kind of off and weird, but what I mean by that is I noticed that certain people that had experienced certain traumatic events in life kind of created their life around either healing or helping others to prevent or to avoid certain happenings from taking place. I kind of didn't want to regurgitate or talk or find myself just attracting people with similar experiences, because I was aware that it wasn't something psychologically that I wanted to entertain. I wanted to be aware that based on certain things that happened to me, it would almost be automatic for me to just help in that stance, or help people with grief, or help people that had extreme miscarriages or stillbirths. And all these things are great, but these were things that took place in my life that didn't necessarily define who I was, right? So years later, I'm making products. This is something that I felt I could do after leaving New York that didn't require a lot of other people's energy or a lot of other people's attention, because I want to work with the group and I want to be thing, but it's better in my mind now to be productive than it is to be popular, right? So with that being said, I took about 10 minutes to just express why I have learned to forgive myself from not being able to do everything. I feel extremely blessed that I'm even given an opportunity to share lotions and body products that have no shea butter and no perfumes, no additives, no anything that's gonna add to certain ailments, to add to certain eczema or dermatitis or pimples, things like that. But also, I think I might have to turn on this light. Let me go and do that real quick. I don't know how that might change stuff. But anyway, also just to take a minute, see how it gets so dark. I'm such a dark woman. Ooh, I love it, but you cannot see me unless I'm sitting in the sun. Okay, let me see if I'm gonna roll off of this too much and it's gonna make me a little distracted. Anyway, and this is where you're like, I need a team, I need a lighter, and I got this selfie ring, all of that stuff. But unless you're really a natural light, it doesn't really pop like that in my mind. Let me try putting this light on. And I'm sorry, y'all, this is exactly why I don't do these, and I just end up putting products in envelopes and keep it moving. I don't even think you could see me like that, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna really, really try when you're this dark. Let me see something. I don't even know if this is gonna work. No, that just changes like the light scope. You see that? It doesn't really do much for me. All right, you guys. So what's corny about this is I can't show. Oh my goodness. I wish that, hey love. Hey, you see her. Or more. Matter of fact, just keep it here. I was gonna ask for you to lift up the camera for me so that I can share all these products, but it's not gonna really work. Don't do it. Don't do it, because if you lift it up, it's just gonna move around a lot and people aren't gonna be able to see. This is the hardest thing. I always congratulate people that have a team. And that's what I mean. I didn't want to punish myself for not having that or stop trying to do different things because the light is off or I need to rush and get these into envelopes. If I don't connect with people, then what's the purpose of having all this great stuff? A lot of people don't even know I exist. They don't know about the products. And I have to gauge things a certain way, because when you're the only person making stuff, I want to hire, I want to train, but I can't necessarily think of convincing people to be in my living space or invite them here, because I also have other, I have a husband that works and needs certain quiet, and I'm just grateful to have broken certain molds. Again, if you don't have this and that, your business won't be successful. If you're not on Twitter, then you won't sell products. The reason why I'm not on Twitter is because years ago, my Twitter account was hacked for Cordoba Organics. I don't know how or why someone started a Cordoba Organics. I think it was to show their love for their products, but it was Cordoba Organics, and I couldn't start a Cordoba Organics page. So it just deterred me, and it was like, you know what? Instead of thinking of all the things that aren't working, think of all the things that are. So again, I'm gonna just stand up real quick and grab all of these, because the whole purpose is to show. So this is Leo. Leo, the greatness about Leo is the helichrysum, as well as the lang lang that's in here, as well as the palm. There's so many herbs and oils in all of my products, because I don't believe that using 1 or 2 carrier oils or 1 or 2 base butters is enough to create the consistency that I wanted to have, as well as the healing energy in each one. So this is Leo, and this has got juniper berry in it, and the juniper berry along with the saffron, along with the argan, along with the helichrysum is really, really good. And again, each astrology butter comes along with a body wash, but it's also designed for that specific sign. So if you don't know, each astrology sign has like a ruling herb, a ruling flower, a ruling planet. You want to be able to, at least I wanted to be able to sync those up, so that people that didn't even have beliefs in all of that could start to say, wow, I didn't even know that the Leo body butter would work like this, that, and the third. But after using it, they can start to see and feel why, right? So this is a Leo. They come in 16 ounces, and it's really difficult. This light is just, you know what? Maybe if I turn, look at that. Okay, so this is the Leo. That looks so much better, Celina. This is the Leo body butter. It makes me want to stop everything and start it again, but I'm not. Very, very good, 16 ounces. Then I have the Revives. The Revives are great because the Revives are made with green tea matcha. The green tea matcha along with the hemp oil in here is really amazing. For those that don't know, it's also got a lot of mint in it, as well as some other good stuff. My whole thing is, let people read instead of boring them. But the Revive is one of the long, like 8 years in running. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Then we have the Coffee Bomb. The Coffee Bomb is an oldie but goodie. What's great about the Coffee Bomb that's a little bit different with the, let me get up and get it, because this is the purpose. Okay, so we have Tiger Tiger Stripes, which is also made with coffee. But the reason why the Tiger Stripes is such a great set is because it's got cardamom in it. Cardamom, definitely look up the skin benefits for cardamom, but the cardamom along with the coffee bean, along with the rose, along with the calendula. I didn't label the liquids yet. I've only labeled the butters. But again, I only have like a half an hour to do this before time runs away with me. So the Tiger Stripes is excellent for people that have tiger stripes, any types of stretch marks. It's a little bit more potent than the Coffee Bomb. The Coffee Bomb, again, is made with over 12 different herbs and butters. You can kind of see behind me right here. I don't know if you can. These are some of the carrier oils that I use that are just in the front. All that space in the back is filled with stuff as well. And I say that to say it takes so many different, it's not just one like, okay, let me just make this and it be enough. No, you have to, at least for me, I wanted to use and create a consistency that I didn't find anywhere else. So this is the Acai Cinnabum. The Acai Cinnabum is great for people with those polyps, any type of bumps on the back of your arms, the back of your legs. It's made with real acai, as well as like the acai, again, a lot of people, they'll feel it to be grainy in other people's products, and I noticed that as well. I wanted to make a product that was really, really smooth and had like the Acai Cinnabum. A lot of people sleep on the skin benefits of cinnamon oil. Amazing. Cinnamon oil, there's over 16 different healing herbs and butters in that. I'm gonna just grab another two. So then you have Victory Rose and your Vaselina. The Vaselina, I'm so grateful and proud of because it really took a while to figure out the viscosity and the consistency where you get like a thick pudding, like Vaseline, but without the mineral oil, without any nastiness in it. And what's great about this is it works really well on like your little springlets or parts of your hair that are a little bit drier, that need a little bit more tending to. It's the same thing with people that have cracked skin, diaper rash, any type of ailments on your children's bum, sensitive, kids, babies, excellent, Vaselina. The Victory Rose as well. The Victory Rose is made, it's got a little bit of essential oils in it that smell unlike anything that you've ever smelled. It's truly, like what I've realized is sometimes it's a combination of essential oils. So I can say like, oh, it's got Hungarian rose oil, but it's also got 3 different essential oils in it that brings out the Hungarian rose. It doesn't just make it typical, so that not a lot of people could duplicate the exact smell, because I wanted to create each scent that was like so unique, but also that was only essential oil based. So I figured if you really get nice with over 60 different essential oils, start to combine them and see what you get. So it's not just made with the Hungarian rose oil, it's made with three other oils, essential oils that has a smell that's unlike anything else. So this is, I would say, the sister or the cousin with Face. Face, okay, let me think. Face is the essential oil-less version of the Victory Rose. So a lot of the questions I get are, hey, what can I use for dry face or dry skin? What can I use for my baby's whatever? What can I use if I have eczema? Or I'm gonna move in the front a little more. What can I use if I have, and move back. What can I use if I have eczema or, a rash, or my skin is very sensitive, or my son's breaking out? I would say use Face at night. It's kind of like a cold cream, but it's not cold. It's made with 8 different healing butters, no shea in it. And again, this is amazing because I don't know how to explain it. Before I go to sleep and when I wake up in the morning, especially when I wake up, funny enough, sometimes I put a little bit of this on my skin and then like give myself a ice bath, just so I close my pores and have a nice little sealant underneath. Just keep the like. All right, I'm gonna keep it real. When I wake up, I have lines on my face from the sheets that I lay on at night. I don't sleep with the pillow. I've tried silk sheets, satin sheets, all that stuff. I still wake up with little like sheet print lines on my face. It's not anything that I can really do, but I've noticed when I do a little cold ice bath on my face, they go away quicker. So face is great because I try not to dry out my skin. The face is excellent. Again, face is a cousin to Victory Rose. Really great if you want something essential oil free. So that's for that. Then we have Hair Magic. I'll do Hair Magic and musical hairs. I think I put those in envelopes already. Hold on, I know I have one because I just made it this morning. Anyway, so that's this. Let me do that and lemonade and here. So this is the Maca Maca. The Maca Maca is excellent. Great for stimulating lymph nodes. Great for, I don't want to even say saggy skin and then it's not unisex because it is. I made sure I didn't overdo it. And again, nothing is grainy. So when you put this on, it's called a breast and bum rejuvenation cream because it really does like make me feel as though I have a little bit extra going on there. And also just to produce, if you have breastfed for like 24 months straight, you're gonna wanna do things that stimulate your lymph nodes, but also massage, self-massage, massage them boobies, massage your breasts, circular motion. It works. It does after years. And this is for someone, you know, I wouldn't say that I'm a vegan because I try to eat some pizza and some cheese just to keep a little chunk on, but I don't eat a lot of excess. Of course, no milk, no cottage cheese, no yogurt, no excess dairy, but, you know, I recommend it for women that might have a little bit of mood swings or might feel like have a banana with some yogurt on that, you know, a little bit of non-fat yogurt in it. A lot of people do stuff for the extremes, but for myself, being a vegan, meaning that I don't have the fat cells coming from just chicken and turkey and all the hormone-induced milks and stuff. So it takes a little longer, but they do grow back. Okay, Maca Maca, excellent. Now we're on to lemonade. The lemonade is amazing because it's made with 3 different, again, essential oils. So it's not just that cutting lemongrass or lemon oil in here. And it's also made, oh my God, I want to read it to you. It's made with argan, lemon butter, pomegranate butter, avocado butter, horsetail butter, jojoba butter, macadamia butter, all of these, I don't even know if you can see it. I have so many huge jugs of just different carrier because it's for me, I realize that it's like the recipe of anything great is a combination of different stuff. It's not just 1 or 2. So I noticed what works well for me. It takes a little bit longer for most people to probably produce because I am using real rosemary in everything. I am infusing herbs in everything, like the Gemini and the vetiver and the rosemary. Amor, can you take that top away from the cat? Amor, thank you, sweetie. The cat's playing with something. It's making crazy noise. Thank you. So like the rosemary, all right, vetiver bay. The vetiver's great for people with ADHD, insomnia. It's okay. Whenever I do something, my son was like, sorry about the noise. It's all good. Whenever I do something like this, it can get a little crazy. So the vetiver bay, I was explaining, great for people. Again, all of the entire line will work for psoriasis, dermatitis, eczema, dry skin, flaky skin, rosacea. Nothing won't heal any of those. But I like to also be more point driven so that people feel as though something is specified just for that ailment, just for that. So for example, the vetiver bay, which is different than the Gemini. What's different about it? The Gemini is made with rosemary, but it's also made with lavender. It's also made with frankincense and bergamot. And the vetiver is made with so much vetiver, which is extremely expensive. A little detto like this can cost like $250, which is crazy, but it works amazingly. The vetiver is also made with lime. It's made with 8 different carrier butters. This one is made with a little bit more. One is great for, I would say, for relaxation and calming, when the vetiver is great for relaxation and calming, but it also will heal cortices that are kind of synapsed. So what does that mean? That means like if you feel like you feel kind of neurotic during the day. Like, oh, I'm great, but then I'm running out of energy. And you need something to prolong, to chill you out, to calm you, to give you the energy and the strength. And the vetiver will work all day and night because it's not something that'll put you to sleep. Lavender is wonderful, but I really like it in the evening. It's not something I enjoy using during the day. So again, the Gemini, amazing. The vetiver bay, amazing. The rosemary, the reason why they take so long is because it's got like 18 different oils in it. Neem, pumpkin, avocado, thyme, kukui nut, argan, black seed oil, jojoba oil. I'm not even reading this. I'm just making sure the label is not crooked because I hate a crooked label. But what's also thing with the rosemary's baby is that it has fresh rosemary in it, which can be annoying because if the farmer guy isn't there, I've got to drive a couple miles just to get the rosemary I like. I don't get it out the grocery store because it's too thin and it's not as fresh. I really like rosemary that looks like trees growing out of whatever. So yes, the rosemary's baby, it's like nothing else. And I'm so grateful for the testimonials. I'm going to try to share more of those as well. But again, we're going on 26 minutes, so I said a half an hour. Then I got to get these in envelopes because I don't like anybody to wait an extra day for stuff. It's not fair for the people on the 1st. Today's the 4th, right? Everything's got to go out today. And that was from the weekend, Thursday, Friday, a lot of orders. But then, you know, I got those done. But then you had Saturday and Sunday. And I said, you know what? Take your time. You also need to sleep, Celina. You need to sleep and you need to rest. So I tried the first time in like a year just taking Sunday off, which kind of backed me up a little this past Monday, meaning that whatever orders were there, they doubled, right? But again, creating a consistent schedule for myself so that no matter what, I know I have to put in 12 hours a day to get everything out, to not have things fall back. But I also want to be aware this year that I do need a little bit of rest, a little more rest. And it's all right to take moments to express what's in each bottle and why. So this is the rosemary. Now I have, so you have the Gemini, you guys just saw the Gemini body butter. Now this is the Gemini wash along with the Scorpio wash. The Scorpio wash, which is great, it's got dragon's blood in it. It's also got saffron, fresh saffron in it, which so many people sleep on. Saffron, sandalwood. It's also made with like couple, oh my gosh, the geranium with there's a combination of essential oils in there that makes it smell. And they're all written on it if you want to, you know, do the knowledge to it. I always express, you know, I remember years ago someone was like, oh, no one pays attention to details. Nobody really cares about the ingredients. I do. I care about details and ingredients. And I don't want to follow someone else's MO or protocol just because that's kind of what's hot in the streets. Like, I'm sure it's popular. A lot of people don't care about those types of things, but I do. And the people that support Cordoba Organics do. You know, sometimes it's like not cool to undermine people's intelligence or what they're able to learn because we don't know. Like, I didn't know back in the day that pink oil moisturizer wasn't the best for my hair. I didn't know that, you know, cholesterol was this conditioner that I used to get in Brooklyn was not good for my hair. I didn't know that it was breaking it, that it wasn't giving it. I didn't know these things. Nobody told me. So you actually learn from reading, from trial and error, but also from experience. You know, reading about herbs in a book is different than using them and applying them and putting orris root in your conditioners or putting bilberry in your conditioner and knowing why and knowing how much so that people don't have liver issues or an overproduction of bile or vomiting because, you know, they're ingesting the wrong essential oil. You can be allergic to essential oils. I'm allergic to patchouli. I'm even a little sensitive to spearmint and wintergreen. I can't put it directly on my skin. It has to be really diluted. So you also want to get to a place where you know what works for yourself, but you don't punish yourself for not being able to use patchouli like everybody. None of my products have patchouli because I'm allergic to it. So again, the Gemini has fresh rosemary in it. And those of us that have used the body washes, thank you. Thank you for writing me and letting me know that you feel the difference in consistency. You know, it takes longer to make your own, but you're making your own. You're not outsourcing from someone else. So in making your own, it's totally different. It humbles you. It allows you to not run out of certain things, because when you have the ingredients, you can keep it going. All right. So this is the star anise and the hibiscus hair oil. I'm almost done. The hippie hair oil. So you see how dark it is? How dark and concentrated again. The hibiscus should be like purple eggplant, like so dark that you're just grateful. So you're grateful to see all the colors and the reds and all the beauties of the hibiscus. These smaller bottles take me a really long time to label too, because they have to be even, and I just want to get them done so I could get them in envelopes. And I really feel that things like this are important. Some people are like, oh, I ain't looking for this. None of this matters. I don't care. I just want to get it out. No doubt. I will definitely make sure that I take time to tape. But you see how I'm taping myself, because it's here working. I can't always ask a seer to tape things for me, or rely on the one person that's consistent to work. Like, he has to work in the same thing. When at nighttime between 9 and 2 in the morning, I don't ask anybody to help me cut my rosemary or prepare for the butters or anything. Not because I couldn't ask for help, but because it's not necessarily fair to ask someone to help you that has a job themselves. And a seer gets so many. Hi Mardi. See how long it's taking me to put this one label on? A seer gets so many calls and so many requests from women and from people and from men that I'm sure it's difficult, to be like, take some time for yourself before you start again. So the star anise, don't sleep on anise. This is amazing for hair growth, for scalp production, for sealing your ends, for all that other good stuff. Yeah, I turned that light off. The anise and the hibiscus hair oil come with the rosemary. There's a little Trinity Trio Trio. You can get them all online as well. Then we have the Pisces and the beets. The Pisces and the beets and roses. The beets and roses, great for people with little breakouts. Great for people that just want to smooth their skin every day and not have something drying on their face. And it is made and infused with actual beet. And so good, the beet powder. It'll bring a little glow to your skin after a while, but it also, quietly enough, acts as a natural exfoliant, so you don't have to necessarily use apricot, anything that's going to scrape and rip your skin up like that. This is the Pisces body wash. I have a couple of big ones as well, but for some reason I just grabbed this. The Pisces body wash and the beets and roses. Excellent, excellent. I think I want to grab the Scorpio body butter, because we showed the body wash, and this is the body butter. Extremely potent and amazing, enriching, wonderful. A little bit different than the Tepes Cohuite that has fig extract. A lot of people sleep on fig extract, but the Tepes Cohuite, along with the fig extract, is so good for people that might have a burn, might have sensitive skin, might be like, yo, this is great, but I have ingrown hairs. I use it when I shave so that I don't have any, I don't know how to explain it, any discoloration or any shaving bumps. Really, really good. And there is a body wash with the fresh Tepes Cohuite herb in it. And it's funny enough, because that's like one of the least sold products out of the entire line I have, is a Tepes Cohuite. And it's something that works the best for ingrown hairs. So I literally use it in between certain spots under my arms after I shave. And sometimes you're like, damn, how can I advertise this, or things just take time, and maybe the title was too long. I should have said ingrown shaving. But I want to also, include new concepts and things that, oh, that ain't gonna sell. Well, you know what? It might. But I also know that Tepes Cohuite is so slept on, and it's a great herb for one's hair and for one's skin. Then you have the blueberry and the strawberry line, which is incredible right now, because it's made with bilberry and black currant berry. And that's a really difficult one to bottle and package. It's difficult to break down the black currant. Very difficult because you'll see like the graininess in it, but it works. So I figured out how to just make a whole bunch so I'm not constantly doing it every night. The blueberry and the strawberry. I think the strawberry's over there. Excellent, excellent. Here it goes. The strawberry, right? The strawberry again, black currant, the blueberry, bilberry, 4 different other carriers, 8 different other oils and carrier butters. Excellent, excellent for, oh my gosh, just for like having the most velveteen, smooth, and the thing about the fruit extracted butters, none of them have any perfumes in them. So you'll smell the real peach and you'll feel they're a little thicker, just a little thicker because of the black currant is just got a thicker, and that's actually why I like them and had to charge $1 or $2 more, is because it takes really long to combine that, to blend it down with the carrier oils to create that velveteen thing. It just takes a really long time, like 30 minutes of blending. But you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to get what you gotta. So Birthrights. Birthrights is amazing. It kind of sometimes reminds me of Gemini because it's one of the 2 butters that has lavender, a little bit of lavender in it. The Gemini does as well, but the Birthrights is amazing because it comes with real lavender, the body wash, and it's great for people that are pregnant, post-pregnancy, while you're pregnant. It's amazing. I wish I actually made this when I was pregnant with Amore, because then I wouldn't have been using like 6 different butters and trying all this different stuff. It would have just been all in one. But this has like 14 different herbs and butters in it, and it is amazing for babies while you're breastfeeding, to help with a little bit of lactation, to help with just your nerves and relaxing without putting yourself to sleep. So that's that. We did the Leos, we did the Tiger Stripes, we did that. We didn't do the shampoo, and we didn't do the Vetiver Bay oil, and we didn't do the Leo body wash. We're gonna do these real quick. And then this is exactly why it's like, girl, okay, the Leo body wash, I didn't even label it yet, but the Leo has saffron in it, a little bit of sandalwood, not as much as the Scorpio, but excellent. The Vetiver as well, the Vetiver Bay oil, for those of us that have tried it. As you can see, all these different jugs back here of different carrier, different infused oils right now. I use about 12 in this Vetiver concoction. The Vetiver Bay body butter is amazing, but the oil, I would say, is something that I literally wish I could drink. I pour it in my hair, I pour it everywhere. It's really dope. And you'll feel the difference as to why, you know, it's like people make stuff, but they don't have the ingredients that yours has in it. And you're just grateful. You're like, I understand why. It's gonna take you a long time and it's probably annoying as hell. But I'd rather be annoyed a little with how much something goes into something than trying to cut corners. And that's actually why I trust what I do, is because I know I'm not cutting corners. It's gonna take 3 days sometimes to get orders out. Then that's what it's gonna take. You're a person. You're not a factory. And yes, even in factory settings or spaces, you still want to maintain the integrity behind whatever it is you do in life. So for myself, instead of thinking of things that weren't going to work well, like, yeah, I cook, I love this, maybe no one wants to watch my cooking show. Maybe no one enjoys, and instead of punishing myself and not, becoming something out of what I really wanted and enjoyed doing, I said, it's not working for me. What works for other people, what's bringing them financial sustenance, is not working for me. I have to figure out something. And once I stop thinking of sharing yoga if you're doing yoga on camera, if sharing recipes, vegan recipes on camera is not working, then perhaps you need to not be on camera. Maybe you need to take 4 or 5 years and don't think of always sharing as much. You might have to go within and hope that the work starts to communicate. And that's what I mean by switching up my routine. I really didn't mean to become behind the camera, behind the curtain. But when I started realizing that I was able to reach more people by providing a service or providing them with a product in where I wouldn't be able to be physically present, or I can't teach this yoga class in Brooklyn anymore, but there's got to be a way for me to connect with people, to connect with others, and still feel as though I'm contributing. And you can. It's just once you start doing that, sometimes people feel a little, oh, I didn't, she didn't call me back, or I didn't have a consultation. The emails that people ask are so amazing, but I do take my time in writing each person. I don't want to not answer people, or if I don't answer someone, I don't want them to take it personally as though I purposely skipped or I purposely didn't. No, I have about 485 now voicemails, and I've stopped punishing myself and thinking that, I'm not doing enough to thing it. My job is to provide people with these products, and also to let them know what's in them and why. But in doing that, I might not be able to physically be seen every day, or post on Instagram, or think about Twitter posts, because I want to really not be affected by what other people are doing, and I want to provide a service that's going to not falter because it's a holiday or because everyone else is sold out. I didn't want the principles of my business to be based on those things. So yeah, I work on Saturdays and Sundays. This is the first Sunday, because it was the New Year weekend, that I just decided to take off, and also listening to my body and saying, I know I'm a little tired, but in order to create a momentum and to figure out how to do something on my own, I'm gonna have to kind of wake up at 7 in the morning, do yoga from 7 to 8:30, start working at 9, work from 9 to 2 in the morning, order your labels, and not complain about it, because this is what anyone will do if they had a business or a job or a responsibility. I sometimes wonder how women that have gone from making stuff out of their home into a factory, like, how do you travel? How are you on podcasts and how do you do all these things but still make products and provide them? And do you have a third party? Those are all the things that I always wondered, because I have to be home. I can't necessarily travel if I want to make sure everybody's stuff is in envelopes and things. And this is the Tiger Stripes body wash that, I don't know if you could see it, I'd have to shake it up. It's got the cardamom in it. It's got, a little bit of the helichrysum in it, and it's got the coffee bean. So, and then the way it smells is just like, I'm so grateful. It's the same thing with this Capricorn body wash. The Capricorn body wash, along with the Capricorn, here it goes. I didn't do Capricorn. The Capricorn body wash along with the Capricorn butter. So dope. And that's another thing that I'm doing. Last year was just, of course, the whole astrology line. Now this year, I'm striving to pair things up more and allow people to see that they don't have to necessarily look for the individual items. They can just get, stuff in little sets, and expanding and having, personalized mailers and boxes and gift boxes, to the point that I do know that it's going to expand and I'll be in a bigger space. But instead of thinking about that, enjoy the fact that, I am able to be in the same space with my son and still work, and not necessarily feel like I have to have a storefront in order to look official and to be about it. You don't. You can be very successful in connecting with people by providing a product or a service. And unfortunately, it might not make everyone happy. Sometimes people want to see you and hear from you and have you call them back and have you on it. I try to write people every night, and I do every night, but some nights I only get around to 5 or 6 emails, and they've just been piling up. So yeah, you want help, but to what cost? I always express that I'm so stress-free because I'm not asking anybody for anything that I haven't paid for, or that I haven't, asked or hired them to help me with. And, I went to school in New York. I'm not gonna Just the other day, I did something on camera and someone was like, oh, she said the word nigga. Like, son, you know how many... I am very hip-hop. I am very Brooklyn. And in that, it can sometimes come off a little ignorant. You know, I spoke to a friend on the phone the other day from Brooklyn, and it was like water. It was like nothing I was saying was offensive. I'm very into, you know, metaphysics and great conscious thoughts, all of that. I'm into reading and bettering yourself. But I'm also into being honest and being where you're at. And I use a lot of vernacular and colorful phrases because that's just who I am. I don't really, you understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I realize even in Miami might deter people from maybe, you know, consistent friendship. I can sound adult and grown and, you know, mature, but then there's a part of me that's like, nigga what? Nigga who? Jay-Z, like I like a lot of different stuff, so I don't always feel like I want to, you know, have to talk proper and da-da-da-da. Like sometimes I'm like, yo, this nigga right here, and only people that I'm not going to offend are going to not be offended, you know? I don't mean to offend everyone. I don't mean to be, you know, out or to, oh, the kids are listening. And, you know, I'm like to feel like I'm not vile and crass. So vocabulary and colorful words, thank God, are a part of who I am. And, you know, I'm all right with it being a little much for people. I'm all right with Cypress Hill and CeeLo, and you know, I listen to a lot of different music, a lot of different things have influenced me. So I'm not always gonna sound the way, I don't know, people thought that I would sound, or like I come out of a head rap book. Like that's not me at all. I don't really, so I get it. You know, you're not gonna make everybody happy in life, but you know how drained, and people say this all the time, but you know how drained I would be if I literally thought of all the people that I didn't please or do things for that might have expected. Like I always say, people that I've sent gift packages to that I might have gone to high school or college, or just they had a kid and I just want to show them some, you know, celebrate them, be nice to them, send them a gift of kindness. Every person that I've sent a gift of kindness to, none of them ever write me and thank me. None of them ever go, hey Celina, I got the package. Hey Celina, thanks so much. And that, learning that years ago was a great maturing lesson, because I stopped expecting people that I knew to be appreciative of anything that I did. And not like, oh, no, I just don't. I don't know why. I stopped thinking about that and started thinking about the people that do appreciate and the people that will. And it still doesn't change. The other day, I sent a gift out, you know, a huge gift package for free out to someone. And I was like, you know, they've written me and asked me for what I can send them. Now I've sent them something. Do you think that the person might have wrote me to say, hey, I got the package. Thank you for everything for my kid. And I didn't charge them a dollar. But I don't expect, this is why you don't do things for people if you're going to expect something back in return. I truly don't. And you don't give in hopes to receive from the same vestibule. Like sometimes I just give because it just feels nice to give. And because I remember when I didn't have. So now that I can just give to someone that might not have, it's something that it just really is, it makes me feel great. It's like watching Queer Eye for the I don't even know the name of the show. Queer Eyes Makeover, but I love the show. I don't even know the name of it. I watch it when I'm blending stuff. And these 5 queer guys, and that's the thing, they're not queer guys. Yes, they happen to be homosexual, but they're humanitarians that have figured out a way to work together to make people happy and to travel and to remind people of how they can style themselves or what might be missing out of their lives. And I thought, you know, I would have loved to have a show like that, to travel, to help empower people that might have had certain physical injuries or certain ailments, and remind them how to work out without necessarily punishing themselves in certain ways, or that didn't have the typical figure. But that's something that I always wanted to do, that always, you know, was so inspiring and driving for me, having been wheelchair bound at 15 and having had open knee surgery and all these things. Like, how could I, you know, yoga, eating well, try not to have too much dairy infused foods, eating crab legs with a side of butter when you want. Not punishing yourself. Like, I don't eat meat, but I eat fish. And I don't, you know, it's difficult sometimes being around people that don't eat fish and only eat vegetarian, vegan food. And they're miserable. They're miserable, they're gaunt, they're not happy, they can't produce, you know, they're not producing positivity because there's a part of them that's just a little bit missing, a little bit angry. So, you know, in being through a lot, I'm just in such a non-judgmental space and in a space where I'm so grateful that I could see other people's judgment of what they thought I might have, or and this goes for anyone. You know, if you have a certain hairstyle, oh, she must be Rasta, she must be this. Like, no, I just wanted to grow my hair like a bonsai tree. You know, all the little things that people sometimes try to put you in or make you accountable for that you might not even be. So, you know, it's just to take a step back and to say, yes, I definitely would have loved and hoped to attract certain, but I don't pray for those moments. And, you know, I don't pray to necessarily need someone outside of myself or outside of what God has provided for me to just create, or to remind someone of how they can feel in their own skin without, you know, makeup and without a whole bunch of other stuff. So that's basically it, y'all. I gotta go and put these in some envelopes. I'm gonna make it to the post office. And much love, much murder, everyone. CordobaOrganics.com. I hope this helps some. I have so much. I would actually, let me just show y'all real quick before I exit out. This is the table though. I don't know if you could see just the stuff from today. And then going down that way. Just some stuff on the table. And just to, again, thank everyone for dealing with me with all this camera stuff. I'm trying to figure out how to do more. I got the selfie ring. I'm going to try to share more at night and do all that other good stuff. But in the meantime, look at me. I'm all, see? All natural. Love you guys. Take care. Peace.